Test. We are testing new live platform EV Mux. So I want to make sure that this is working okay. So let me test this out because I'm not hearing anything right now. Test this out. Yep. Okay. I'm hearing it. Perfecto. All right. So let me share my screen because we have a lot to get into today. For those of you that may be new here, my name is Ryan Knight. I am a bona fide night owl, and I invite you to try and get work done in the evening with me. So Fridays, we found a new home. There was a time when we were doing this every day, but right now we just want to invite you to test out a new platform. I don't know if you've been following along with different AI tools that have been coming out, but Google has something very interesting called NotebookLM. So we're going to dig deep. We've done some previous episodes about NotebookLM. So if you want the very bare bones rundown, check out those previous videos. But for now, we are testing out their new video feature. So I am going to share my screen, and let me just do entire screen. We might need to share the audio, and then let me hop into here. Okay, so we're testing out a couple of the options because if you don't know NotebookLM, so NotebookLM allows you to put in a lot of different sources, so source material. Actually, I'll show you one that I was working on. Oh my gosh, where is it? Over here. All right. So NotebookLM, you can create a notebook, and then in that notebook, you can load up sources. So for example, I put these different research projects on Black entrepreneurship. So you can put them all in, and then it'll summarize it all for you. Then you can ask it questions. So if I say, what amount of funding do Black entrepreneurs have difficulty raising? This is spelled wrong. Difficulty. Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So about 11 sources from different reports and research and surveys, ranging from like the senator's office doing surveys to the Black Opportunity Fund, to the federal government and their consultations that they were doing. So now all that data is in here where you can ask it a question and you can see what it'll pull from this information. Okay. And so now you'll see where it has so Black entrepreneurs in Canada facing at these different levels. So the $10,000 level, and then you can check what it referenced. So this first one is the Abacus data, and this is what I was curious it was going to pull from because they asked that specific question about um, finding difficulty to raise $10,000. So it found it in the research report and sourced it. It says number 5 as well. And so this was the, I guess what do you call it? Like the full report. And it says it's in here. Where does it say it's in here? When asked how easy it would be to get 10,000, so page 32, but it didn't bring me to page 32. Is it page 32? All right, so we'd have to scroll down. But when you highlight over it, you'll see that it references this section of the report. So all that to say, with NotebookLM, you can actually turn these into podcasts. So I'll play for you a little bit of the podcast, and then what they launched is the ability to create video presentations. So we're going to test out a couple of video presentations. I'm going to show you some that we already did, and I'm also going to show you from scratch how we what do we do. So let me stop sharing and share my. I'm going to share my window, and we're going to do the Black entrepreneurship one. So this way, all right, I see some people popping in. Hey, Fitness Cam, you work best at night? Yes, I love it. All right, so let me share my screen. Oh, it's already is sharing. So let me just make this smaller. Wait, is it showing my screen? No, took it off. Window, Black entrepreneurship. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what the audio podcast sounds like, and then we're gonna test out the video presentation and see how we do. All right, so this is a sample of one of the podcasts that I created. I'll do another one here. So you'll see how it has the different sources. So at one point, I only checked off two of the sources and then created another audio podcast. So this one up here, so if you can check off all the sources and then isolate a specific source. So even like this, the Black Opportunity Fund executive summary, we can create one with this. So we're gonna have this one being created, and then at the same time, we're gonna listen to this other one that it already created. Okay, so you can see it can take all the research, and this is where so much research might be done about a topic, and this can really become your study guide. I'll show you some different ways that you can actually use it to prompt yourself as it's finishing this audio, but really it just compiles all information that you can collect and then puts it in a digestible way. So if you rather listen to podcasts than figure out how to read 11 reports that might be 20 to 30 or even more pages each, but you just want the gist of it and in a kind of a light back and forth banter, you can turn it into the podcast, you can turn it into a mind map. So NotebookLM is really a place that if you want to learn about something, you can put in information and then learn it. So now they've created a way to create a video overviews. So um, I put in, hold on, let me stop sharing because I'm going to show you the Detailing Nights one that I was testing. I want to see if it's done. All right, so let me share this. Is it up? Okay, so now we were testing two of these, so I don't know if it's done yet. Yes, looks like it's done. So there's two. So there's one about just Detailing Nights itself, and we put in the website, so our Detailing Nights website, and that's it. And then we put in a video about our youth entrepreneurship training cohort. So we're gonna see what it came up with our Detailing Nights website link. So this is something that I want you to test out, is just to put your website link in. So when you create a new notebook and you click on try notebook LM, then it will ask you to create a new notebook, and then it'll ask you to upload something. So you can upload your website, you can upload a Google Doc, a Google Slide, your YouTube. You can just copy and paste text. So for this one that we're testing, we actually put in a website link, which is Detailing Nights, and let's see what it came up with. All right, is it playing? Not yet. Wait, hold on. It might not be sharing my audio. Let me just do this again. Sorry about that. Share screen and share. Oh, so to share audio, we have to do a tab instead. So let's do a tab. And if we're gonna do a tab, oh, actually, let's just do entire screen. So share audio. Okay. All right. So let's test this out here. So remember, we just put in the link for Detailing Night's website.
Hey there, and welcome. So, today we're going to deconstruct something that's changing how we all live our lives: the business of convenience. And to do that, we're going to look at a really cool example: a mobile car detailing company called Detailing Nights. Let's get right into it. All right, let me ask you something. What if getting your car detailed was as simple as ordering a pizza on your phone? I mean, seriously, that's the big idea we're digging into today. How do you take a total chore and just turn it into a simple, on demand service? So, to really wrap our heads around this, we've got to start by basically throwing out the old idea of a car wash. I mean, forget everything you think you know about driving to some garage and just waiting around. You know the drill with the old way, right? It's just full of hassles. You've got to schedule your whole day around it, drive across town, sit in some waiting room. It's just a huge waste of time. Time you could be spending on, well, literally anything else. This new model, it's all about wiping those problems off the map. So, what's the big solution here? It's one word: mobility. The service comes to you. Think about that. There's no physical garage. It's a fully equipped van that can meet you at home, at the office, wherever. Your car is getting a top-notch detail while you're in a meeting or just chilling on the couch. Game changer. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how does this all actually work? Because it's way more than just tossing some cleaning supplies in the back of a van. The secret sauce here is really two things: a super smooth process and some pretty unique eco-friendly tech. For you, the customer, the process is just dead simple. You book it, they show up, they do their thing, and you just carry on with your life. No waiting, no driving, zero hassle. It's designed from the ground up to fit into your schedule, not mess it up. And the tech that makes this whole mobile thing possible, it's called waterless detailing. Now, this isn't just some green gimmick. It's actually a total necessity. I mean, think about it, right? You can't exactly roll out a giant hose in the middle of an office parking garage. So instead, they use these special sprays and microfiber towels that lift the dirt right off and protect the paint. The whole operation is self-contained. It's brilliant. And get this, the environmental impact is absolutely staggering. We are talking about a 99% reduction in water waste compared to a traditional car wash. 99%. This is one of those awesome cases where the thing that makes it so convenient, the waterless tech, also makes it incredibly sustainable. The two go hand in hand. All right, so we've got the how down. Now let's talk about the what. What are you actually buying? What are the packages and who's the target for each one? They've got three really clear options. You've got the King's Detail, that's your basic, quick refresh. Then you can step it up to the Emperor's Detail for a deeper clean that'll get out some of those light stains. And for the really tough jobs, pet hair, salt stains, the whole works. There's the Majestic. That's the all-out, intensive restoration. It just makes it super easy to pick exactly what you need. But here's where it gets really interesting. You might think this is just for individual car owners, right? Nope. The truly clever part of this business model is who else they serve. This is where things get really, really smart. From a business perspective, a huge, and I'm guessing very profitable, part of their business is working with corporate clients. This cracks open entirely new revenue streams. And the best part? They're using the exact same mobile setup. It's genius. And they've got two different angles on this. First up, you have corporate fleet detailing. This is for the company's vehicles, their fleet of cars or vans. The goal there is to protect the company's image and their investment. But then you've got Employee Car Wash Day. This is for the company's people. It's an awesome perk that just makes employees feel appreciated. So two totally different targets, two different value props, but one simple, elegant solution. Okay, so the business model is solid, the service is awesome, but there's a big hurdle, right? How do you get people to trust a stranger to show up at their home or their office and work on their car, one of their most expensive possessions? Well, that brings us to the final and maybe most crucial piece of the puzzle: building a brand people actually trust. In today's world, a service brand that people trust really stands on three legs. You've got to have social proof. You need to let your customers do the talking, and you have to be involved in your community. First, let's just talk numbers. Social proof. They detail over 2,000 cars a year. Just let that sink in. This isn't some weekend side hustle. This is a serious, high-volume operation. And that number alone tells you they know what they're doing. And it's not just quantity, it's quality. Their average rating is over 4.5 stars. So even with thousands of cars, the satisfaction level is still sky high. That's how you know the whole system, from booking to the final polish, is working. But, numbers are one thing. The human voice is another. When you hear from a real customer, like Amar here, talking about them being on time, professional, polite, that adds a level of trust that no statistic can ever match. And here's another one from Steve. Notice the theme? Service, professionalism, quality. When you see customers saying the same things over and over again, you know it's not a fluke. That's the brand promise coming to life. But a great modern brand does more than just get good reviews. It doesn't just serve a community. It becomes part of the community. And this right here, is where I think Detailing Knights does something really special that sets them apart. They have this thing called the Knighthood Academy. It's a program that teaches young people about leadership, teamwork, and entrepreneurship. They're not just cutting a check and calling it a day. They're actively investing in the next generation, giving them real-world skills. This is what turns a company from just the car wash guys into a business that's a genuine part of the community fabric. So when you break down what this one company is doing, it kind of leaves you with a much bigger question. doesn't it? We've just seen how they completely reinvented the car wash. So, what's next? What other annoying chores in our lives are just waiting for someone to come along with a smart, convenient, and eco-friendly makeover? Definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're not if your brain hasn't exploded because yes, the graphics that they use and they use the same ones for majority of the videos, but just to and I'll show you what the source material is. So if you go to our website detailingnights.ca, literally this is all that it knows. It We put in a link and it went through, I don't even know how many pages on the website it goes through, but it was able to pull everything about our pricing, the entrepreneurship programs it touched on, because Knighthood Academy isn't even on our main page. So it would have had to come into About Us and our youth entrepreneurship program. And then the audio I think is fantastic. It's now the um the video part of it. So you could probably take the audio and just put your own graphics, like your own PowerPoint to it. And that would, I think that would, if they connect this to Canva somehow and pull from your brand guide and can make better graphics for the actual video presentation, this would be very stellar. So now we're going to test one more. We're actually going to test the youth entrepreneurship program. It created a video from a YouTube video that we had created. So we did a YouTube video about the Knighthood Academy and how people could sign up for the August cohort. So we put that YouTube link, and remember when you go to like the new notebook and when you open it up, you can put a YouTube link in, or you can put a website. Like we just tested the website. So we're going to see what it created just from a YouTube video. And this is about our youth entrepreneurship training. So let's click on this one, and then we'll boot this up and see how it did.
All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about a company that's doing something really special. It's called Detailing Nights, and on the surface, it's about making cars look good. But trust me, the real story is so much deeper than that. So, I want to start with a question for you. Can a car wash actually change a life? I know, it sounds a little out there, right? But stick with me, because that question is exactly what this whole story is about. We're going to see how a super simple service might just be an engine for some serious personal change. Okay, so first things first. To really get what makes this company tick, we got to start with the basics of what they actually do. So, at first glance, it's pretty straightforward. Detailing Nights is a mobile car cleaning service. Your car's dirty, you give them a call, and they show up right at your house or your office to make it sparkle. Super convenient, super simple. A service most of us can totally get behind. But that is just scratching the surface. And this is where things start to get really interesting. Take a look at this. A 99% reduction in water usage compared to a traditional car wash. That's wild. But look beyond that at the business model and the core mission. This isn't your typical profit-first company. It's a social enterprise. That means community impact is literally baked into its DNA from the very beginning. And you can't really understand that mission without getting to know the founder, Ryan Knight, and the story, the personal story that kicked this whole thing off. So get this. The year is 2009. The founder, Ryan Knight, is 2 weeks away from getting married, and he gets laid off. I mean, can you imagine the timing? For a lot of people, that would be an absolute crisis. But for Ryan, it turned out to be the spark for a totally new path. And a lot of that came down to this piece of advice from his dad. If you want to control your own destiny, become an entrepreneur. Wow, that just lit a fire under him. Suddenly, it wasn't just about finding another job. It was about taking control, building something that was truly his. So with that idea as his foundation, Ryan built Detailing Nights on these 3 pillars. Number 1, it had to be easy on the environment. Number two, it had to focus on the community, on giving back. And number three, it had to be a model, a blueprint for how a business could actually be a force for good. And these aren't just, buzzwords for a website. This is the company's operating system. So, how does a car wash company actually do all that? Well, it all comes together in their most important project, something they call the Knighthood Academy. And this, right here, is the absolute heart of their social mission. The Knighthood Academy takes the day to day business of cleaning cars and flips it into a real world classroom for young entrepreneurs. We're not talking about textbooks and theories here. This is hands on, get your hands dirty learning. And the whole point of the program is pretty simple. It's made for any young person who's got that drive. You don't need a business degree, you don't need any prior experience. All you need is the desire to learn how to, become your own boss and take control.
Okay, so how do they actually do it? How do they take someone with zero experience and turn them into a business owner? Let's break down how this program really works.
It all kicks off with this 5-day intensive training. And just look at what they cover. This isn't just here's how you wash a car. No, it's about developing an entrepreneur's mindset. It's learning the nitty-gritty of bookkeeping, customer service, how to process payments. Then they dive into marketing, how to actually find clients. And yeah, of course, there's detailing 101. It all wraps up with a real launch plan. It's basically a business boot camp crammed into 1 week. And here's the best part. When the training is over, they don't just say good luck and send you on your way. They hand you this, the entrepreneur package. We're talking hundreds of dollars in supplies, cleaners, towels, plus marketing materials like flyers and business cards. Basically, everything you need to start your business like the very next day. And this is where the rubber really meets the road. For the next 3 to 4 weeks, these participants are out there running their own micro franchise. They're finding their own clients, doing the work, and earning their own money. And all the while, they have the full support system of the Detailing Nights team right behind them. Now, I know what you're thinking. A program this deep, with all the training, the equipment, the support, it has to cost a ton of money, right? Well, this is where the story takes a truly incredible turn. So first, let's just get a sense of the value here. If you wanted to license the Detailing Nights brand and operate a normal franchise, you'd be looking at over $16,000. It's a serious investment for a serious business. But for the young people in the Knighthood Academy, that price gets completely slashed. The whole program, the training, all that gear we talked about, the ongoing support, it's valued at just $500, which, is already an unbelievable deal. But it gets better. Here's the kicker. Thanks to some amazing sponsors, like the Afro-Caribbean Business Network and Alternative Savings, that $500 fee, it's completely covered. So the actual cost for these young entrepreneurs is zero. Absolutely nothing. And just when you think it can't get any better, it does. Not only is the entire program free, but the participants who finish that 5-day training actually get paid a $50 stipend. Let that sink in. They are literally paid to learn how to start their own business. Talk about an incredible investment in the next generation. So that brings us all the way back to that first question we asked. Can a car wash change a life? I think after all this, the answer is a definite yes. And it leaves us with one last thing to think about. If a mobile car wash can become this amazing blueprint for social good and youth empowerment, what other everyday businesses in our own communities are just sitting there, waiting for someone to turn them into a launching pad for change?
Okay. So I absolutely love these 2 videos. I have to figure out somewhere to post them, whether it's on the YouTube or on the Facebook. But imagine the time. So I took, like, doing the presentation itself is great, but then this is more of like an overview of your presentation, where I already did like an info session about the Knighthood Academy. It was about 13-15 minutes, but then to condense it into something where you can just send this to somebody and say, like, hey, here's an overview of the program, and if you need a deep dive, you can go and watch the actual full info session. But instead, you're able to now give this to somebody and say, like, hey, here's a quick overview. And this is question: was this video literally generated all by NotebookLM? Yes. So I'll show you the source material. So this YouTube video which is on our YouTube page here. So the free business training. We took this video, grabbed the share link, copied this, went into the Notebook LM and added it as a YouTube video and just pasted it in. So it was one of the sources, did nothing else, did no prompts, anything. Over in the studio, we clicked on create a video overview, and 32 minutes ago, so it took about 5 minutes. By the time the show was ready to go, it created the video. So now we tested out putting your website link and the video that it created, which I liked. We tested out putting in the YouTube video. So if you have YouTube videos that you've already done, you can turn those into mini overview videos and use that as a lead magnet to encourage people to go watch the full video. So now the other one that we wanted to test was, let me see if I have the right one up. So we had a couple. Okay, so this is now a PDF one pager. So the one pager now is, so ACBN, we created, let me show you. Where's our overview? Oh, overview of ACBN. All right. So we created a one pager about the organization. And so now we're going to put this one pager. So we pasted it into Notebook LM. And now we're going to check what type of video it created. And we're going to compare it. So we have the one pager, but we also did a video about the full from our website. So we're going to compare how it did with the website versus just a one pager post. And let's see. I am going to utilize all my website address and my business commercial and see what comes. Yes, let us know what comes out of it and even do it right now. So if you go to notebooklm.google.com, let me see if I can put this into the chat real quick. If you want to follow along. And then, yeah, add it as a source. And then it'll be in here as a source, and click on video overview. You can do an audio overview as well, but we're doing video testing because this is a new feature that they just came out with. So we're going to see what it came up with for the ACBN after putting in a one pager document. And then we're going to compare this with the website. So we put in the website link and created a video with that as well. So we're going to compare the two to see the difference between it knowing your whole website versus just a one pager.
All right, so today we're going to talk about an organization that's doing way more than just helping out businesses. It's building a true legacy. We're taking a look at the mission and the impact of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network, or ACBN, to really understand how they are making a lasting difference. You know, it's one of the most fundamental questions in the world of business. You can have this brilliant idea, an incredible work ethic, but still, the path to success just seems to have so many more obstacles. And it's exactly that reality that organizations like ACN were created to change. For a lot of entrepreneurs in the Black community, the challenges really boil down to these three key things: getting that first loan, finding the right mentor who's been there before, and just connecting with the right people. Look, these aren't small bumps in the road. These can be the make or break factors for a business's survival. So with a gap that's so clear and has been around for so long, you need a dedicated group to step in and build a bridge. And that's exactly where ACBN comes in. Yup, this is where the Afro-Caribbean Business Network enters the picture. It was founded as a direct answer to these problems, created by the community for the community to offer some real, tangible solutions. And their mission? It's crystal clear. As a nonprofit, ACBN is absolutely laser focused on one thing: helping entrepreneurs build businesses that don't just survive for a year or two, but actually thrive for the long haul. It's all about making them sustainable and successful. Okay, so that's the big goal. But how do they actually pull it off? Let's open up the toolkit that they're giving to entrepreneurs. So, ACBN's whole support system is really built on three powerful pillars that all work together. They provide the funding to get you off the ground, the coaching to help you build smart, and the networking to help you grow. It's that combination that creates a really complete toolkit for success. Great ideas are, of course, where it all starts, but you need capital to turn an idea into a reality. And ACBN has come up with a pretty clever multi-level approach to tackle this major roadblock. So those who are just starting out or maybe just need a smaller boost, ACBN has a partnership with Alterna Savings that provides microloans of up to $10,000. Now think about that. That's the kind of accessible cash that can help a business buy new equipment, launch a marketing campaign, or just manage cash flow in those really critical early days. But they don't stop there. As businesses start to grow, their needs get bigger, right? So ACBN acts as this vital connector, helping entrepreneurs get access to much larger funding. We're talking up to $250,000 through major partners like the Federation of African Canadian Economics or the FACE Coalition. This is what helps a business go from a micro operation to a major player. And this is a huge deal. On top of connecting entrepreneurs to other people's money, ACBN is building its own funding capacity. They have this ambitious goal to raise $2 million, which would let them become a direct lender and expand their impact even more. And that $2 million isn't just some abstract number on a spreadsheet. It translates directly into empowering 200 more entrepreneurs. That is a massive, tangible impact on the community. Okay, so money is crucial. We get that. But knowing what to do with that money is a whole other ballgame. That's where ACBN's training ecosystem comes in. We're talking practical workshops, sessions on how to write grants, and even weekly drop-in clinics for personalized advice. And it all leads up to their big signature event, the annual ACBN Legacy Symposium. It's all about making sure that capital is paired with the knowledge to use it well. And the final piece of the puzzle is community. Through their membership program, entrepreneurs get access to exclusive events like the Partner Showcase. This literally puts them in the same room with potential investors, collaborators, and mentors. This focus on community means that no one has to build their business all alone. But the story of ACBN doesn't end with business plans and balance sheets. Their impact actually goes far beyond the boardroom, weaving itself into the very fabric of the community. And for ACBN, it's all about leading by example. And get this, they lead by example by operating their own social enterprises. Think about that for a second. They have a marketing agency, and they have a senior home care service. These aren't just businesses. They're platforms for creating jobs and providing essential services that the community really needs. And this whole philosophy of building for the community has led them to what is probably their most ambitious project yet. That's right. ACBN is launching an affordable housing project specifically for seniors. I mean, this is a monumental step. It shows a truly holistic vision where business success is directly tied to the well-being of the entire community, taking care of everyone from young entrepreneurs to our respected elders. So, when you put all these pieces together, the funding, the coaching, the social enterprises, the housing, what does it all add up to? What's the bigger picture here? It adds up to this incredibly powerful cycle of growth. Supporting one entrepreneur doesn't just help one person. That business goes on to create jobs. Its success strengthens the local community. And maybe most importantly, it shows the next generation what is possible. And that leaves us with one final powerful thought. The work of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network, it's not really about launching companies. It's about launching futures. And it prompts us all to ask, what happens when you remove the barriers, clear the path, and empower an entire community to write its own success story and build its own legacy? Well, the possibilities are truly inspiring.
Okay. So again, I love AI because this stuff is like it's making life so easy. Not easy, but easier. And if for those that are gonna lean into this, watch this same time next week. somehow we're going to utilize this in very creative ways. And I want you to stay close as we get creative with how we're going to use this. So I'm going to show you one more only because I want to compare this to what it created when we gave it our full website. And then I saw a comment in the chat that I'm going to address because there's one more secret weapon that really takes this to the next level. So let me see if I can find the other video. I think it was this one, overview. No, that's the one I just created. Let me see. So ACBN, the video. Where did I put it? Oh, it might be this one. Yes. So this one, I think I put in just the website. Yes. So this one, the source was a website. So we put in the ACBN website, and I'm going to play this so that we can compare just the one pager versus giving it the link. And of course, you could probably put both and it creates something more robust. But for now, we just want to test one source. So we're going to check this one, and then I have a secret surprise for you.
All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to talk about a really powerful ecosystem for entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage. It's called the Afro-Caribbean Business Network, or ACBN for short. Let's find out what makes it so special. So, let me ask you this, because this is the question they start with. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out, or maybe you're growing a side hustle, or you're already a seasoned business owner. Building something that can actually scale, well, that's a whole different ballgame. And that's exactly where this network comes in. And this gets right to the heart of their mission. It's so laser-focused. See, it's not just about building a business, it's about building a community. A space specifically for entrepreneurs from a shared heritage to connect, to learn, and, to really grow together. And look, that focus is clearly making a huge impact. When you see testimonials like this from community leaders, you know it's the real deal. It shows the network isn't just some nice idea, it's a recognized, valued resource that's out there actively helping people win. So what's the secret sauce? What makes this network so effective? Well, it's because it's not some one-size-fits-all solution. ACBN is a support system that's been totally tailored, designed because they deeply understand the unique journeys and challenges of the entrepreneurs they serve. What's really cool is just how wide their support goes. Seriously, it doesn't matter if you have an idea on a napkin, if you're burning the midnight oil on a side project, or if you're already running an established company. ACBN has something specifically for you at every single stage of the game. Okay, so how do they actually help? The best way to think about it is like being handed this incredible toolkit. It's packed with everything you need, not just to survive in business, but to really, truly thrive and scale up. So, let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. And the support they offer, it's so practical, no fluff. It covers everything from building your skills in these hands-on workshops to building your connections at community events. But it also tackles the really tough stuff, getting access to funding, getting advice from experts, and even getting help with marketing and grant writing. The exact things where so many entrepreneurs get stuck. Now, a huge piece of the puzzle here. What gives this toolkit so much power is the strong partnerships they've built. Take their collaboration with Sheridan Edge, for example. That opens up a whole new world of resources. We're talking incubation programs, exclusive events, and even access to talented students. That right there is how you build a real, thriving ecosystem.
Okay, I know what you're probably thinking right now. This sounds amazing. How do I get involved? Well, let's break down what membership looks like, because there are a couple of different levels designed to meet you right where you are on your journey.
You've got two fantastic options here. You can start with the starter membership, which, by the way, is completely free, and you get immediate value. We're talking needs assessments, group mentoring, but then, when you're ready to hit the gas, that premium tier unlocks the next level, with things like critical support for microloans and free entry to all their events. And get this, that premium access is just $47 a month. And for anyone who's ready to really commit, they even offer a 10% discount if you sign up for the whole year.
When you think about the support and opportunities you unlock, that's an incredible investment in yourself. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room for almost every entrepreneur, getting funding. This is an area where ACBN honestly just knocks it out of the park. They have a dedicated program designed to take all the mystery and guesswork out of getting your business ready for lenders. And what makes this so powerful is the structure. This isn't just a quick 1-hour seminar. Nope. This is a full-blown, 9-week, hands-on program that walks you through every single step, from getting your financials organized to tracking your performance, all with one-on-one coaching from people who know what they're doing. But it's the result, the outcome, that's what really matters. At the end of these 9 weeks, you don't just have more knowledge. You walk away with a tangible, lender-ready funding package in your hands. Your credit readiness is improved, you have total clarity on your options, and, this might be the biggest one, you get warm introductions to actual lenders. That is a total game changer. And you don't have to just take my word for it. Testimonials from partners like this one from Sheridan Edge just reinforce everything. When collaborators see a grand vision and they have absolute confidence in the team, you just know you're looking at an organization that truly delivers. So, look, if anything we've talked about today is hitting home for you, if it resonates with your own entrepreneurial journey, then the next step is pretty clear. Join this incredible, supportive community. Because it's about so much more than resources. It's about finding your people. And getting started could not be easier. You can just subscribe to the newsletter to get funding alerts, or take the free business needs assessment. Get that instant clarity on where you're at. From there, you can take the leap and become a member. Honestly, even the free starter tier is a powerful first step. And that really brings us to the final and most important question of all. With the right support system, with the right network, with the right tools in your hands, what will you build next? ACBN is ready and waiting to help you find out.
Okay. So this is where you can see a bit of the difference between the two, where the one pager was really an overview and like, hey, this is what ACBN is working on. Take the information and run with it. But then when they go through our website, it really actually becomes a recruitment tool where it's like, hey, this is what ACBN is doing, but this is how you can get involved and become a member. So for our marketing, where we want to let people know how to join, the second video that used our website was definitely better for recruitment. And now the first one is more something that we can send to potential partners or people that just want to learn about us. We have to find somewhere on our website to put this in. So I'm just seeing I uploaded my business commercial and website address. You then click on video overview, right? Yes. So once you click on that, you can let us know what it comes up with. So I saw a message in the chat. So let me stop sharing just real quick. And so I saw a message in the chat about the voice. So this is where I'm telling you, AI with everything combined is going to just change your life. So I want to download this. So actually, let me share my screen so I can show you what I'm doing. Okay, so share screen, and then entire screen's fine, and the audio. Okay, so I clicked on to download it, and then we're gonna go to a site called 11 Labs, and we're gonna log in. And so I'm gonna log in. All right. So now we're gonna go to this dubbing section here, and so dubbing allows you to ACBN overview of projects. It's going to detect the voice. We're going to dub it in French. So we're going to test dubbing it into a different voice and see how French goes. All right. And then we're going to create a project. Oh no, why don't I have enough credits? I should have enough credits. Hold on. Let me go back because it's trying to tell me I don't have enough credits, but I should have enough credits. 13,000. What did I use all my credits on? Okay, so it's saying don't have enough credits right now. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna get some more credits because okay, so we got our credits. Thank you. And then we're gonna go to our dubbing studio, create a dub. It's gonna be ACBN overview. Detect the English. And we're gonna put this into French. And we're gonna upload our video. And then we're gonna create the project. And there should be one speaker. And then we're gonna create this dub. Okay, so it's converting now. So what we're gonna watch for is it to create a project where now it puts in, instead of that voice that you're hearing that you did not like, we're gonna put in the actual a new voice, and we're actually gonna test it with putting in a French dub, and then we're going to test it with another voice that I'll wait as a surprise for you. So it's processing right now. Let me see some of the other ones that we created. So this one was from the PDF. This one was from, so we actually tested out taking, so you remember when we showed the audio podcast that it created? So now from the audio podcast, we're going to check on it turning the audio into the video review. So as the 11 Labs is dubbing and it's almost done, we're going to check this just real quick to hear what it came up with by hearing a podcast.
So today we're going to dive into some really powerful data that reveals a deep, deep paradox right at the heart of Ontario's economy. It's a story about hard work and reward, and about a system where, for Black workers and entrepreneurs, those two things just don't seem to line up. Let's dig in and see what the numbers really tell us. You know, to really get a handle on what's happening right now, we've got to look back. The central theme here is this long, rich history of contribution by Black Ontarians that just isn't matched by the economic outcomes we see today. And this isn't some new issue. It has incredibly deep roots.
And this history of contribution, it runs really deep. We're talking about pioneers like Thornton Blackburn, who founded Toronto's very first taxi company back in the 19th century as a way to help others escape slavery. Or activists like Hugh Burnett, whose fight for justice led directly to Ontario's Fair Employment Practices Act. The contributions have been absolutely foundational. But here's the thing, here's the paradox. Despite this incredible legacy, the data shows Black Ontarians are still among the least likely to actually benefit from the opportunities in the province. And you know, this is what sets up such a powerful expectation. Because when we look at education, the drive and the achievement are absolutely there. A full 70% of Black Ontarians hold a post-secondary.
You'll see it took the podcast that we were just listening to and now turned it into a video presentation. So again, multiple ways that you can get creative with this. So now we're gonna go into our Dub Studio here, and let me get rid of that. So the ACBN overview. And so now, if you remember the old speaker that we had, so let me see if we can listen to this one.
All right, so today we're going to talk about an organization that's doing way more than just helping out businesses. It's
All right. So now, hold on. How do we add our voiceover? Okay, delete that speaker. And so Rachel. We wanted it to be French though. How do we get French? So these are all American. Oh, did we change it to French? I thought we did. Let's see if we can. I'm not seeing it change for the French version. Hold on. All right, so I don't see the French version, so I probably have to dig around a bit more. But instead of her voice, we do want to shift it to a different voice. So we're gonna test out adding the voiceover and then looking for my voice. See if we can put that in. Oh wait, how come I'm not seeing? Oops. Oh, voice didn't go in. Oh, uh, hold on. So it's supposed to create another line. Oh, here we go. Ah, okay. So now the second dub. So we have the original voice and the French. So when we play it now, oops, that we should have a French voice.
D'accord. Aujourd'hui, nous allons parler d'une organisation qui fait bien plus que simplement aider les entreprises. Elle construit un véritable héritage. Nous examinons la mission et l'impact du Réseau d'affaires afro-caribéen, ou ACBN, pour vraiment comprendre comment ils font une différence durable. Vous savez, c'est l'une des questions les plus fondamentales dans le monde des affaires.
Vous pouvez avoir cette idée brillante, une éthique de travail incroyable, mais malgré tout, le chemin vers le succès semble avoir tellement plus d'obstacles. Et c'est précisément cette réalité que des organisations comme l'ACBN ont été créées pour changer. Pour de nombreux entrepreneurs de la communauté noire, les défis se résument vraiment à ces trois.
D'accord. Aujourd'hui, nous allons parler d'une organisation.
So now, so on our website now, when we put this up, we will have a French version that we can also send out. Let me see. My notebook is still generating. Yeah, it's been a few minutes. I would still wait for it. So now the other one that we want to test is so English. I'm going to add the language. And then this one, we're going to put it into my voice and see if this works. Original English. How come it's not giving? It's not changing it. Let me see. Delete this one. Oh no! I delete everything. Let's try it again. Okay. So go back to the original. Let's delete this. Why is it deleting everything? And then new voiceover. But it's not putting in the voice. When it's French, that works. But if you put it to Ryan and then switch it over,
D'accord. Aujourd'hui, nous
that's still French. But before I break this, I actually want to download this French version. So let's export it so that we have our French version of the presentation. Then I want to see how to, yeah, I guess we'd have to change the actual slides too into French, but maybe the voiceover will help. So the last thing after this exports, we're going to try and figure out in a couple minutes how to get my voice. So earlier in the week, I had oh, this says download. Let's get this downloaded so that we have this saved. And then let's come back. So we're supposed to be able to have speaker 1 and then speaker 2 to be English, but it's not. Oh, here we go. It's doing something. Do I have to do that for every? Let's see. So let's see if this worked.
All right, so today we're going to talk about an organization that's doing.
Okay, so that's speaker 1. So we go to English.
All right, today we're going to discuss an organization that's doing much more than just assisting businesses. It's creating a real legacy. We'll examine the mission and impact of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network, known as ACBN, to truly understand how they are making a lasting difference. It's one of the most essential questions in the business world.
Okay, so does that sound like me? I don't know. So it's our best first attempt. So we're going to. Maybe I should get our 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 operations manager Charmaine to clone her voice, and then I'm gonna put her voice into this. But as you said, you can create the video and then come into this program. Why can't I just do that for the whole thing? I'm trying to see how to. Can you just generate audio for the whole thing? Generate audio. Oops. Whoopsies. Put that back. I don't know why I have to click on each one. Oh wait, generate state audio. Oh, here we go. Boom. So you could do it all at once. It's probably using all my credits that I just bought, which is crazy. I'm gonna have to check my credit card bill and make sure that doesn't recur, although I am loving this tool. So now we remember we didn't like the female voice, and we can definitely look for more voices, but now we have
For a lot of entrepreneurs in the Black community, the
Ryan
challenges
Knight
really boil down to these three key
voicing
things:
over
obtaining the initial loan,
the entire
finding an
video.
experienced mentor, and establishing connections with the right individuals. These are significant hurdles.
Yes.
These can be the decisive factors for a business's.
So a question that came in was, how did I put my voice into it? So with 11 Labs, it asks you to just talk for 30 seconds, and you can also upload other audio of yourself, and then it'll create a voice clone of you. So all of those videos that you saw that I created, I can now put them into this platform and put my voice onto it. The only other one that I'm trying to figure out how to do is the podcast, because it has two people talking to each other. I have to figure out how to have two different, like, better voices doing the back and forth. So if you want to be one of my voice clone voices for our podcast, we are taking auditions. But for now, we have, for the video voiceovers,
survival.
instead of
So with a gap that's
lady
so clear
speaking,
and has been
we
around
have
for so
Ryan Knight
long, you
speaking.
need a dedicated group to step in and build a bridge. And that's exactly where ACBN comes in. Yep, this is where the Afro Caribbean Business Network enters the picture. It was founded as a direct answer to these problems created by the community for the community to offer some real tangible solutions. And their mission? It's crystal clear. As a nonprofit organization, ACBN is entirely focused on one goal: assisting entrepreneurs in building businesses that not only survive for a short period, but truly prosper in the long run.
So I did see your question, Michelle, about the closed captions. I don't see closed captions on it. And Notebook LM, you'll notice that with the videos that it creates, it can't edit. You can't edit it in here. So you really have to download it so you can separate the audio and then put your own um, like presentation slides, and then you can put the captions, or you could probably put it into something like CapCut, or even TikTok does captions now. So if you post it in there, you can then add on the captions and then download it. But in Notebook LM itself, you can't edit anything. So I even noticed at one point, I think it said ACN instead of ACBN. So stuff like that, you kind of have to roll with it. But if you did want to fix the audio, like I said, you can come into 11 Labs and maybe let me see if I can find where it said ACN and see if I can fix that before I download it. Uh, where did she say that? It does say ACBN. I know she said it. Let me listen back to it again.
All right, today we're going to discuss an organization that's doing much more than just assisting businesses. It's creating a real legacy. We'll examine the mission and impact of the Afro Caribbean Business Network, known as ACBN, to truly understand how they are making a lasting difference. It's one of the most essential questions in the business world. You can have this brilliant idea and an incredible work ethic, but still, the path to success just seems to have so many more obstacles. And it is exactly that reality that organizations like the African Caribbean Business Network were created to change. For a lot of entrepreneurs in the Black community, the challenges really boil down to these three key things: obtaining the initial loan, finding an experienced mentor, and establishing connections with the right individuals. These are significant hurdles. These can be the
Yeah,
decisive
I
factors.
think we're good. So I didn't hear it say ACBN or ACN. So I'm gonna download this and then I'm gonna figure out what to do with this. But for now, again, I have to fix the where is let me take this. Oops, remove. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this overview and deep dive into Notebook LM. Test it out, see what you like about it. I do see the question here by Michelle talking about, yeah, security issues 100%. If you're using AI, expect that what you're putting into it is now for the world. So that's why I like to test it with my website, because my website is, of course, uh, for the world. So, somebody's video just generated. I love it. So I don't know if you can post it on Instagram or if you can download it and share. Fitness IQ is still waiting for hers. We need to create our own WhatsApp group. We're gonna have the Night Owl WhatsApp group so that we can share our creations and see what is working and what's not working. But again, I want to thank you for joining this evening. We're looking forward to seeing you next week. Where next week we're going to be talking about, so on make.com, we really started with a very basic sequence where we found a blog post, we turned it into a Facebook post and a LinkedIn post. We're going to start adding to that sequence so that we can do some amazing automations and, yeah, just see how much we can push the platform. And look out for my video. We're going to be putting this video onto our website and onto our social medias eventually, both in French, both in English and French. and also with my voice. So, again, thank you for going on this journey with me. Look forward to seeing you next week. And as always, stay productive.